What's good, YouTube? Your creature's back with another banger of a video for you guys today. And as you saw in the title, this is my NFL mock draft. Not necessarily official. This is kind of unrealistic because I'm doing trades. As you already see, I got trades going on. But I will be doing another mock draft later that has no trades. You can compare those two. I also recently have made a Bleacher Report. Well, I already had an account, just now I've been starting to post on it. I do have a link, or you can go to Bleacher Report and look up VX Koki. And do you mind if you follow me? Would appreciate it. And would also appreciate go subscribe and like this video right now if you do like it. Spam the comments with W's if you did like the mock draft. Spam the comments with L's if you didn't. But enough with the sweet talk. Let's get straight into the mock draft. Number 1, Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. But you know what's going to happen. Get a nice young quarterback. Minshew Mania didn't really work out with them, even though I thought it would. Now let's resume the draft. Trevor Lawrence. Y'all know what's going to happen. And the Jets, we pretty much know this too. Zach Wilson. I don't really expect another quarterback taken. We know it's going to be a quarterback. So, let me know if you guys want to see a second and third round. I did originally make a second and third round. It was kind of weird, and I also had it was all over the place with trades. I also have if you go look at my Bleacher Report, I have the Ravens trading the 58th pick for Melvin Ingram. Makes sense for both sides, The Ravens just lost Yannick Ngakoue, and Melvin Ingram doesn't like it with the Chargers. So, and pretty much I had a lot of picks that made sense in the second round that you might be looking at the first round and saying, yo, why did my team not do this? So if you do want a second and third round pick, like this video or comment down below saying I want to see a second and third round. But a first just made more sense, and I made this before. Originally second and third round before James Conner signed with the Cardinals, so I had the Cardinals taking a running back, but So I'm just gonna redo a second and third round. But if you do guys want to see that, just let me know. Kind of repeating myself at this point, but 49ers, Adam Schefter thinks it's going to be Mac Jones. I personally think it's going to be Mac Jones, even though, yes, there hasn't been any really good quarterbacks coming out of Alabama. I do like Justin Fields better, of course. But also, Ohio State hasn't really had any good quarterbacks come out of, But, and also Mac Jones had a lot of good receivers and a really insane head coach. But I am going to have him take Mac Jones. Don't get mad at me. That's just what I personally think. Ravens, huge trade here. They're going to be trading up with the Atlanta Falcons. I think this year, they're not, some people think they're going to take a quarterback. I think this is not the year for them. They're going to keep Matt Ryan and Julio Jones for another year. Give it that a go. Focus on this year's draft on defense. The Ravens, or take this chance, they're going to trade up, get a number 1 prospect receiver, a really good receiver. Also, the Ravens are going to be trading Orlando Brown to make this possible. He wanted a request trade. They're going to be trading Orlando Brown and the 27th pick for the 4th pick to move up. And they're going to be getting Heisman, Devontae Smith. They love taking Heisman people, guys. So this makes sense for both sides. Yes, the Falcons are trading pretty far back. They also get Orlando Brown in the process. Really up that offensive line a lot. And the Ravens also, Orlando Brown doesn't like the Ravens either. And the Ravens are looking to win, in my opinion. The Bengals, Eagles traded back for a reason. They think the Bengals are going to be taking Jamar Chase. Sure, they could be, the Eagles, why not just take Jalen Waddle? They're just going to trade back. The Eagles took that chance to trade up, personally, because, have the Bengals going to be getting Jamar Chase. They want to let AJ Green go. So, Jamar Chase makes a lot of sense here. And then for the Bengals, I have them taking Jalen Waddle, reunite him with Tua, now have, Will Fuller and Devontae Parker, and now Jalen Waddle. That's going to be nasty. Of course, they don't have they have Mike Gesicki as tight end, but Lions, as they state 3, the best receivers just go. The next offensive receiver, was like the 22nd prospect. They're not going to be doing that. And they said they're going to be looking to trade back. And the Raiders, a lot of people have been saying this in the past, but this year I finally have them. They've been making moves, you know. They moved pretty much the whole offensive line, cut Ricky and Canito, traded Trent Brown to the Patriots, traded Rodney Hudson, and Gabe Jackson. So, I personally see them taking a quarterback. Later, like maybe in the second, I'm definitely taking offensive line. But this is the time. Even Derek Carr and John Gruden have not really had a good relationship. They've made off-season signings that, like, they signed maybe 1 or 2 offensive linemen already and a few other people, but, you know. So, number 8, Carolina Panthers, they have Sam Darnold, they got the offensive weapons and all that. And they love taking defensive weapons. I don't see them taking a quarterback. I personally see them trading Teddy B to Broncos, maybe for a 3rd-round pick or whatever. But I have them taking linebacker Micah Parsons. They've never really found a replacement for Luke Kuechly, so this makes the most sense for me, and really for the Panthers in general. But now for the Broncos, I have them taking Patrick Surtain, cornerback out of Alabama. Sure, it's not a team need, but if he's still here, I definitely would think they need to take him. He's an elite cornerback, can really help that secondary a lot, especially with Justin Simmons back there. That would be really good. Also, in the second round, I have them taking another edge player. So, I'm a little crazy on that. And their offense is pretty stacked. Maybe an offensive line, but I don't see that, you know. You might be thinking, like, yo, why don't you have them taking Penei Sewell? I personally have them taking Patrick Surtain, just, you know, don't judge me. The Cowboys, if this player is still here, they're going to grab him so fast. They did it last year with CeeDee Lamb. They didn't need him, but they got him. Great pickup for them. And the Cowboys, they've never had a good tight end. Really in the past 2 rounds, you know, Jason Witten retired and all that. I have them taking Kyle Pitts. Just an insane tight end, one of the best prospects for tight end in a while. And the Giants just take this opportunity. Another crazy offensive player falls to them. They're going to pick him up right away. Now the Giants, I have them taking, you know, pretty much just the best edge on the board at this point. They need edge to help out, what's his name? Something Lawrence, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Just really help out that front 7 a lot. You know, Gettleman really likes taking defensive players, especially in the front 7. I see them taking another edge player, but that's my personal opinion. Now, at number 12 for the Eagles, I have them taking Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker from Notre Dame. They haven't really had a good linebacker in a hot minute. They've really never had a good linebacker, even in that Super Bowl squad. The Super Bowl squad has never been the same up to that point. You might be thinking, why don't they get a receiver? They traded out because they thought they would get a receiver. And now I think they're going to focus on defense, just in this first round. You know, for now. But this next pick for the Chargers, Penei Sewell, pretty much just falls into the Chargers' lap. Reunite the Oregon offensive tackle with Justin Herbert. Just makes sense for both sides. Sure, I did say this is my unrealistic mock draft. If you want me to do another first-round mock draft just with no trades, make it a bit more realistic, I said this is a bit crazy. So, Vikings now get Rasheem Slater, second best offensive tackle. You know, a lot of people have been trashing on Kirk Cousins, but really, Kirk Cousins, if you've seen his numbers, he's not that bad. He's really not that bad. But get an offensive tackle that actually protects him. They cut Riley Reef. You know, now they're going to get Rasheem Slater. Nice young offensive tackle. They made an offensive tackle like him in a while. He shut down Chase Young from like 2 years back. So, Rasheem Slater, just a monster out of Northwestern. Now for the Patriots. They've been looking at quarterbacks. They've been doing crazy things. A lot of people think, yeah, the Patriots are just going to do what they do every year. They're going to trade down, get some decent defensive player, that no one really knows about. They're taking Trey Lance. He falls into their laps. They're going to pick him up. And he can maybe learn under Cam Newton. Maybe they start him after a few games. But I see them taking a quarterback in the future. They've been going crazy this year. They just have done unrealistic things with tons of signings. So I have them taking quarterback Trey Lance. Now for the Cardinals, I have them taking J.C. Horn. Pretty much, I think it's a total scheme fit for him. And pretty much replaces Patrick Peterson. They lost him to free agency. And as of now, Richard Sherman hasn't signed with anybody. Hopefully by this video going up, that stays the same. No more signings. Please, I want to be able to upload this video. I've been waiting to make an NFL mock draft up to this point just because I've been waiting for the, for a free agency and all that. I didn't want to do it too early. But here I am making one. So, as you see, you might be thinking, Koki, Lions just traded back the Raiders. Why is now the Bears showing up? Yeah, the Lions also, they don't like any of the receivers in this position, right? And they have plenty of draft capital to do this. I have them trading with the Bears. Lions get Allen Robinson. Lions trade their 17th pick and maybe like another pick to get Allen Robinson. He does not want to be in that position with the Bears. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to either. The Bears, and now in this position, I haven't taken Rondale Moore. Taylor Gabriel just retired. He just lost Allen Robinson. I have him taking Rondale Moore. Seems like a stretch. He sat out this year, but he was predicted to go in the first round. So, I see him taking Rondale Moore. This is my personal opinion. I see other receivers going to other teams. Now, for the Dolphins, I have them taking Najee Harris, running back out of Alabama. Pretty much, for the Dolphins, I just have them pretty much taking, this is Alabama draft for them. Especially if you saw my second round, too. I won't tell you what I did for them in the second round, no spoilers. But, now for the football team, I know, I'm pretty sure the Dolphins do have another running back, but if you can get a dual threat, especially a running back that Tua is familiar with, and really have a crazy good offense, that would be huge. They already have a pretty good defense. Even though you could make an argument saying they could get a linebacker, in which, there's not really any in that position at 18, unless you want to reach for one. And the Dolphins have never really found interest in defensive players like that, especially linebackers this early. I think they're going to focus on offense. As of right now in the first round, maybe third round they focus on D, but I don't know. Especially because they cut Kyle Van Noy, and he went to the Patriots. So, now for the Washington football team, I have them taking, not a receiver, I don't know why I went to receiver. I have them taking Jamin Davis, linebacker out of Kentucky. Really helped that front seven. That's especially in linebacker, it's kind of aging. So, just add a nice young linebacker there. That'd be huge for that front seven. Just make that defense even better than it already is. So, if you see Vista Energy, this is not a sponsor. I'm sorry, this is just showing up in ads. But now for the Bears, I have them taking Greg Newsome, the second cornerback. I think it's a scheme fit. Doesn't really have to move far. Really, it's a team need to do. Top secondary right now. And the Eagles, I have them taking Caleb Farley, the next cornerback down. They just lost Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby. You need another guy to help Darius Slay. You just need help on that defense for the Eagles, really. You might be saying, Eagles need to focus on the offense and get Jalen Hurts as much help as he can. You need a defense. I think the Eagles, in their opinion, they're going to be going into the season thinking defense wins games. And you'll be thinking, wait. Why do the Eagles have this pick? Forgot to mention, Eagles are trading with the Colts. The Colts get Zach Ertz. Eagles pretty much trade Zach Ertz and a third-round pick to the Colts, and the Colts get Zach Ertz. Well, no, that makes sense. Pretty much, yeah. Eagles trade Zach Ertz in a third. Colts trade a first. There we go. Pretty much reunite Zach Ertz with Carson Wentz, really. And Zach Ertz also doesn't want to be there. The Colts don't really have a good tight end. Makes sense for both sides, really. Titans, I'm thinking Rashad Bateman. They just lost tons of receivers, Corey Davis, among others. You might be thinking, yeah, but they just lost Isaiah Wilson. Why don't you get him an offensive tackle? Yeah, but they also lost a lot of good players. Derrick Henry can't carry the team, as we saw against the Ravens in the playoffs. You need to give another weapon to Ryan Tannehill, in my opinion. The Jets, Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle. Pretty much now that you have Zach Wilson, get him an offensive tackle. Yes, you did get an offensive tackle in last year's draft. You get another. Your offensive line was never good to begin with. And usually, always, when you get a quarterback, you get another offensive tackle to go with him, or a receiver. That's what you do. But now for the Steelers, I have them also taking offensive line. Elijah Vera Tucker. I think that makes sense there. I'm just going to say Alex Vera, something. Just retired, and so did Pouncey. So to get a nice offensive lineman, especially to help Big Ben as much as they can, they just lost Juju Smith-Schuster too, and Eric Ebron, and I'm pretty sure TJ McDonald too. You need to get him some help. You need to get him some offensive line at least. That Steelers offense is not going to be as good. It's the Steelers are going to take a huge decline this year, in my opinion. But if you want to I'll do an NFL Power Rankings video after the NFL Draft. But I've been making tons of Fortnite videos too. I just got tons of good videos coming out in general, guys. Hope you guys are hyped for the content. Now I have the Jaguars taking Travis Etienne. I know I like having the same college and same players go with the same team, NFL team that is. Travis Etienne, Clemson. Trevor Lawrence, Clemson. I know they have James Robinson, but if you can get a dual threat in, especially a running back that Travis Lawrence is familiar with, build that offense as good as it can. That could be a really good team. An offense that is. Now for the Browns, I have them taking Kwity Paye, edge for Michigan. We know they like taking Michigan players, and they need an edge. They were going to take J.J. Watt, but he of course went to the Cardinals, so... And Olivia Vernon, he's kind of old. He's not old, but he's getting up there in age for NFL, that is. It's not like in the 70s, It's like 30s, and that's old for edges. So I have him taking Kwity Paye. Falls into the Browns' lap. Pretty much team need too, which really helps them out. Now for the Falcons, they're going to help that secondary. They just lost Keanu Neal. I think in this draft they're going to focus on defense. Then next year maybe they can focus on the offense. Maybe get rid of Julio and Matt Ryan. But I don't think they're focusing on offense in this year's draft. Don't get me wrong, maybe. But now for the Saints, you need to give Jameis Winston, if he ends up being the starter, whoever ends up being the starter, as much help as he can get. I think they're going to take Kadarius Toney. Michael Thomas had an off year, and Emmanuel Sanders just retired. You need to give him as much help as he needs. He needs as much help. Even with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and all the Leonard Fournette, all the good plays they had. Well, they didn't have Leonard Fournette, my bad. With all the good plays they had on the Buccaneers, Jameis Winston couldn't get done. And now with a team with Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas only, especially with a not-so-good offensive line. The offensive line is good, don't get me wrong, but compared to the Buccaneers, at the Jameis Winston time, I'd say they're equal, actually, but you need to give him another receiver to help him out, that is. They have the equivalent to Mike Evans and Michael Thomas. Now you need to give him a Chris Godwin type, Kadarius Toney. Packers, you might be thinking, yo, this is obvious, Koki. Just get him a receiver. Nope. I mean, we'll be the value there. I think they're either going to be taking a cornerback. They've been looking at cornerbacks to help Jairo Alexander, especially because Kevin King's not there anymore. Or what I think they're going to do, get offensive line. They just lost Corey Linsley. Need to help Aaron Rodgers, and they just re-signed Aaron Jones. It'd be disrespectful to not get him another offensive line. You know, even though they do have plenty of offensive linemen, personally, I think they're going to take Creed Humphrey. Let me find him. He's off in center. Yep, there we go. Pretty much just filling. He's a center. Just fills in that role right there. Now for the Bills. You might be thinking, I have them taking, personally, Tevin Jenkins. You might be thinking, yo, why Tevin Jenkins? That's not a skill position they need. And I have them taking Tevin Jenkins because if you saw in the AFC Championship, the Chiefs' defensive line totally destroyed it. Totally destroyed their offensive line. And you might be thinking, Josh Allen, he showed off this year. He can really throw the ball. And a lot of people didn't think he could. A lot of people think he could only run. Why was he running during that time? Because defensive players were destroying the offensive line. I mean, they did improve the offensive line a tiny bit. But even so, if you saw in that AFC Championship game against the Chiefs, the offensive line just got destroyed. And Tevin Jenkins, I don't know, just kind of sounds like a Bills type name player anyway. Kind of like a Elijah Vera Tucker, the Steelers. Now for the Chiefs, you can't really see him, you know. But I have them taking Samuel Cosme, offensive tackle, Texas. They just got Joe Thuney and Kyle Long, but you also cut Myra Schwartz, who's an offensive tackle. So get another offensive tackle to help Patrick Mahomes, you know. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Yeah, 26, you know, on the board, Texas. Makes sense. You know, like, they like taking plays from Texas, you know. Texas Tech, Patrick Mahomes, haha. Anyway, Buccaneers, Christian Barmore. He's the top position, at least this app is telling me, and other people are telling me. The Buccaneers need defensive tackle, Christian Barmore, 18th Alabama. There we go. Look at the full results. Just pretty much explain this. Sue's getting up there in age. He can help Vita Vea a lot. So, this was the first round, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys liked it, tell me down below. You know, spam me with W's. If you didn't like it, you don't have to. Spam me with L's, whatever. Go out, check out my Bleacher Report. I told you it's VX Koki. And if you did, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Have a good day.